Hello Cancer, and welcome to your insight video for January's powerful eclipse season. So we're starting the month we're starting the year as it means to go on, with this powerful initiatory gateway, this acceleration that calls us to let go in order to move forward. So eclipses by their very nature will shake us out of our comfort zone, and the period between two eclipses, which will in this case be the Capricorn new moon solar eclipse on the 5th or 6th of January, depending on where you are, and a Leo full moon, blood moon, wolf moon eclipse on the 20th or 21st, again depending on where you are in the world, because these eclipses tend to fall in the early hours for those of us here in the UK, but maybe late evening for those in different time zones. So these eclipses will be opening a new eclipse cycle whilst closing an old one. We have the final eclipse of the Leo Aquarius axis and the first Capricorn eclipse of the new nodal cycle, which began in November as the North Node moved into your sign and the South Node moved into your opposite sign of Capricorn. So these eclipses are particularly powerful for you. The new moon eclipse in your opposite sign is a powerful point of transformation that highlights the work that you've been doing with Saturn and Pluto in your 7th house Pluto's been there since 2009 and Saturn has been there since December 2017. So these two very transformational, very intense energies moving through your opposite sign and being joined by the South Node of karmic release on in November last year. So we have this real configuration going on in Capricorn. It's where all the action is taking place over the coming years up through 2020. This year, Saturn and Pluto are going to be coming together within 3 degrees of each other as they prepare for conjunction in January 2020. So the area that Capricorn rules over in our birth chart is going through this huge recalibration. So for you, this means that there is more work to be done, there's more healing to be done in the area of relationships. As I've discussed in previous videos when we've talked about Saturn and Pluto for you Cancer, they are coming together in this 7th house, which is the house where we meet ourselves through the mirror of another in astrology. When this house is activated, a lot of our growth, a lot of our transformation or blessings, depending on different planets, but with Saturn and Pluto we're definitely talking about growth, comes through the other person. We learn about our own individual needs by the interactions that we have with other people. And this doesn't have to be just romantic partners. This can also be friends, family members, and business associates. You know, Capricorn is the sign of work, of business. So this can be people that we associate with through our job as well, colleagues. And with the eclipse happening in this house, we're looking at some rapid transformations that lead to new beginnings. So this will highlight some of the things that you've already been getting a taste of learning. So in particular, when we're looking at the 7th house, which is ruled over by Libra, the scales, we are looking at issues of giving and receiving in our relationships. And if those energies are equally balanced, you know, how harmonious are our relationships, how much are we over giving and under receiving, or vice versa in our connections. So this can really bring up areas in particular where we may need to have better boundaries, where there may be some people who are taking advantage of your nurturing and giving nature. We know that you are the sign of the Great Mother. You are one of the nurturers of the zodiac, Capricorn. So we're looking at these issues. We're looking at you with the North Node in your sign, in your first house. We're looking at you reclaiming your identity, perhaps apart from other people. We're looking at you maybe for the first time, looking at what you want to achieve, what your ambitions are, what your goals are, where your discipline and focus is meant to be over the coming 18 months. So perhaps there are some old behaviors, some old patterns, even ancestral patterns, family toxic family connections that need to be either let go of or redefined during this period. And as I said, Capricorn can be very much to do with our work in the world. So if this can be a time when the things that we let go of create space for new opportunities to come in. So we might meet somebody new who's going to help us learn these lessons about ourselves, or we might even meet somebody who's going to give us a business or work opportunity as well. And for you, Cancer, this month, Aries, and up until early February, Mars is in Aries in your 10th house of career and purpose. So this can be really lighting a fire in you, thinking about your work, thinking about what you want to put out into the world, thinking about your purpose, and encouraging you to take action steps towards that. And this is where we may see some conflict, you know, between the work life and the home life, our personal needs, our personal connections, and who we want to become in the world. Finding a balance between that, and a balance between work and nurturing, because it is so important for you to maintain that safe space, you know, to maintain that private inner world as part of your nature. So we want to find a good balance between work, relationship, and the needs of self this month. So we've also got Mars and Jupiter moving through your 6th house of work as well, coming together on the 22nd. So we know Jupiter's here for a long time now. He moved there in November and he's going to be there until December this year, giving you opportunities to change your day-to-day work, to change your day-to-day routines and structures. And Venus there for the better, you know, to really start to embody your highest vision. And Venus comes along and says, do you love what you do? Do you feel like your work is a pleasure? Does it align with your authentic truth, says Sagittarius. So we can see there's a big focus on these areas of work and relationship this month. And hopefully if there are any issues with work colleagues, Venus and Jupiter can smooth them out for you. So we have a nice balance going on there. So let's think about doing what we love and setting those intentions, particularly at the new moon solar eclipse on the 5th or 6th. The second eclipse is going to fall in your 2nd house. So this is the Leo full moon eclipse. And this eclipse is finishing up the cycle of Leo and Aquarius eclipses that we were working with throughout the second half of 2017, all through 2018. So you may remember in particular the beautiful eclipse season of last August, and we also had Mars retrograde. Very, very intense times. So around that time, on August the 11th, around the time of the Lionsgate portal, we had a new moon eclipse in Leo. So this full moon eclipse can bring culmination to issues that have been going on throughout these 2 previous cycles. So we're looking at closures, at endings that call us into a new beginning, because this is a full moon eclipse on the North Node. So we have these simultaneous energies of release, and acceleration. And Leo is all about, you know, our sacred self-love, our self-worth, joy, creativity, abundance. So we'll all be working with those energies. But particularly for you, this can fall, this can help you to think about how you're valuing yourself, Cancer, how you're valuing your time and energy, which again, lessons you've been learning with this previous eclipse cycle. And because it is falling in the second house, which is ruled by Taurus, which is very much connected with our resources, with our time, with our energy, with our material possessions, with our prosperity. The lesson of this house is connected with receiving what you feel you are worth. So how much do you feel like you are deserving of receiving these Leo frequencies of love, of romance, of playfulness, of abundance? How is your work supporting you in your sacred self-expression? Do you love yourself enough to receive? So there's this very much this energy of you learning how to be nourished, learning how to be nurtured. As you let go of these old security blankets, you know, coming out of your comfort zone and trying something new, something exciting, something that really ignites your inner fire. So that moon, that full moon, will bring closure to this eclipse season and will lead us into February's energies, when we will be, you know, coming together again, and I will be creating a new video. So to close this reading, I'm going to pick a card for you, Cancer, from the Goddess Oracle Guidance cards, just to give you a little bit of extra divine feminine support as the North Node's in your sign. Oh, and this is really nice. So this is the goddess Damara, and she looks quite fairy-like there. And the card is guiding children. You are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. So that, on a very practical note, can be a message for those of you who are considering working with children, or if you're having problems, you know, or issues, or there's something that is arising in your life connecting with your own parenting and your own children. This can be a sign that healing is coming and change is coming. On the deepest level, this card can be very much about healing the inner child. The Cancer Capricorn axis is the axis of ancestral lineage. It's the patterns that we picked up as a child or even in the womb. Cancer very much connected with the primordial waters of the womb, that are hindering our ability to create the life that we desire in the now. So perhaps this can be a time of you really diving deep and looking at the legacies that have been passed down through your family, connecting with your inner child, seeing, you know, reminding them that through this time of change and transition, that she or he is safe, is cared for, is protected. You know, you are the adult now. So that's a kind of a double message and a very interesting card to pick for your sign, I feel. Thank you so much for listening to me, Cancer. If you wish to connect with me further, you can click the links below, which will take you to my Facebook pages and groups where I share my astrological offerings. I am wishing you so much love, so much abundance, so much healing for this lunar cycle.